Good morning, welcome back. Today we're going to talk with you about the fractions. Fraction is part of something, part of whole, a part of total. If you look at the whiteboard, we are given imaginary pizza, and the thing you have to keep in mind is numerator and denominator. Numerator tells us about how many slices or how many parts are busy or gone, while denominator tells us about how many parts are given in total. If you look at the picture, as you can see, three of the slices or parts are busy or eaten by someone. That's why number 3 is written on our denominator. However, if you look at your denominator, you can realize we have got in total 4 parts. Let's say 4 slices. That's why it is written number 4 here. So you can read that 3 folds. And when it comes to the reading of fractions, please keep in mind it's 1/2, it's 1/3, it's 1/4 or a quarter. However, any numbers more than 4 should be read with th ending. For example, this one should be read as 1/5, 1/6, 1/7. It helps the listener to identify that we are talking about fractions. Another important thing here is simplifying fractions. Imagine we are given 3 fractions, 3 and number 9. We can actually simplify fractions to make our work easier. To do that, you have to write down the factors of numbers. For example, number 3 can be divided to the 1 and 3, and they are factors. However, number 9 can be divided also number 1, number 3, and number 9. Please keep in mind, we gotta take always the same common biggest one. Which one is the common and biggest one? We have got common one here is 1. However, I told you the biggest one. Biggest one is definitely number 3 in both parts. So it can be divided to the number 3 both of them, and your final answer will be 1/3. If you look at the next fraction, 15 and 25, the factors of 15 is 1, 5, 15. The factors of 25 is 1, 5, and 25. As I told you, keep in mind, we have to choose the common, the biggest one. Common biggest one here is, of course, number 5. So if you divide it to the 5, so we will end up with number 3 and number 5. So the final simplification is 3/5. Last one, when you look at number 36 and 84, it has got too many factors from 1, 2, 3 to the and so on. However, the most common, the most biggest one here is 12, and if you divide these numbers to the 12, you will end up with number 3 and number 7. So simplification of 36 and 84 is actually 3/4. Let's move on to multiplication and division of fractions. Multiplications and divisions of fractions are super easy. The only rule that you have to remember is on multiplication, the numerator should be multiplied to the numerator, which is actually 9. The denominator should be multiplied to the denominator, which is actually 28. Easiest. So in the next question, also the same process, 5 multiplied 2 is equal to the number 10. 2 multiplied 11 is equal to 77. When you are given not fraction but a natural or whole number being multiplied by fraction, the same process. As you can see, we are not given the denominator here, it's only a numerator. That's why our numerator should be multiplied to each other, leaving us with the same number 7 on our denominator. However, please keep in mind, instead of multiplying 5 to the 4 or 16 to the 10, we can actually simplify, as I told you a few minutes ago. So number 5 and number 10 can be simplified. You can simplify to the common biggest number, and as you pay attention, the number is number 5. 5 can be divided to the 5, which is 1. 10 can be divided to the 5, which is actually 2. And if you look at closely, number 16 and number 4 is also can be divided. So number 4 can be divided to the number 4, which is actually number 1, and number 16 can be divided to the 4 as well, which is actually the number 4. So if you multiply your numerator, it gives us number 1. If you multiply your numerator, it gives us the final answer 1/8. Division is also the same, however, you have to keep in mind the process which is called reciprocal. What is reciprocal? Let me explain. In reciprocal process, please write down your first fraction, do not change anything. However, your sign division should be changed to the multiplication, and second fraction should swap their places, swap their roles. So number 7 should be written on your numerator, while number 4 should be written on your denominator. So it is multiplication, and as I told you, in multiplication you have to multiply your numerators and you have to multiply your denominators. So the same process for the second question. Number 10 and 12 cannot be changed. Please do not change the first one. It should be always changed for the second one. So division should be changed to the multiplication, and as I told you, they have to swap their roles. Actually, you can simplify it like I did here for the fourth question. So number 10 and number 2 can be simplified when you divide them to each other. It gives you a number 5. And number 3 and 12 can be simplified. When you divide it to the 3, it gives you a number 4. So our final answer is 5 fourths, let's say. Last question, the natural number is being divided to the fraction. The same process, number 3 cannot be changed. The only thing that should be changed is the second fraction. So they should swap their roles. And finally, it will give us the 9 and 4 answer. Let's talk about addition and subtraction of fractions. It is a little bit challenging. And the little bit challenging part is LCD, which is actually the least common denominator. If you see two fractions being added to each other and write down like denominator to the denominator, numerator to the numerator, and 5 and 12, you are definitely a donkey. I'm so sorry. So the thing that you have to do here is very easy. If you see addition of two fractions, please keep in mind. Take your first denominator on the right and write down it on the left side above 3. Take your denominator number 5 from here and please write it down on the right above 2. So when you multiply 7 to the 2, it would be 21 and our sign is plus, and when you multiply two numbers, it gives us number 10. However, keep in mind, 5 and 7 numbers should be also multiplied to each other, leaving us with 35. The final answer is 31 and 35. However, I do not suggest to do this method because it only works with two fractions. However, when we are given more than two fractions, we have to be aware how to find LCD. Let me explain how can we find it. So, number 10 and their factors should be written in the first case. So, number 10 can be divided to the 2 and 5, and they are the final factors because 5 cannot be divided. So, number 10 is actually 2 and 5. The next number is number 12. Number 12 can be divided to the 2 and 6. 2 cannot be divided. However, number 6 can be divided to the 2 and 3. So as you can see, we have got 2, 2, exponent 2, and 1, 3. Last number here is number 8. Number 8 is actually 2 and 4. So 4 can be also written as like this. So the factors of number 8 is exponential of 2. Which one you should choose? Please remember that for the rest of your life. We have got 1, 2, we have got 2, 2, we have got 3, 2. Please choose the biggest one. Which one is the biggest one here? Definitely 2 exponent 3. So we have selected that. After that, look for the other numbers. We are given number 5, but it's not here, but you should take it. Please write down number 5 as well. So 5 is gone, 2 is gone. What is the last number? Last number is definitely 3. It doesn't matter whether 3 is here or not. If you see number 3 in one place, that's all. You have to take it. So, last answer here is 120. This is our denominator. And please write down your denominator and 120. So, our LCD is 120. Once you find LCD, please equalize your denominators to 120. I repeat, your denominators should be equal to 120. To make it 120, you have to multiply it to the number 12. Whatever number you write on your denominator should be written on your numerator as well. To make it 120, you have to multiply it to the number 10. As I told you, whatever you write on your denominator should be written on your numerator as well. Last one, to make it 120, you have to multiply it to the number 15, and 15 should be written here as well. So, you can multiply that, it's 120, we equalize our denominator, and the last thing we gotta do is calculating our numerator. So, 1 multiplied 12 is 12, 2 multiplied 10 is 20, 3 multiplied 15 is actually 45. So our last answer is 120 here, and there is 77. This is our last answer actually. Subtraction is also completely the same. You're gonna find LCD. Let's do the first one. As I told you, to avoid any difficulties, just multiply your number 7 to the left side, just multiply your number 9 to the right side. So once you do that, it gives you 56 and it gives you number 18. As I told you, multiply your denominator as well, it gives you a number 63. Once you subtract that, your final answer will be 38 and your denominator is 63. It is the final answer. However, for the next question, the same process should be done. We gotta find LCD, we gotta find factors. Let's just fast forward it. So once we have done it, let's start selecting. We have got two exponents 3, and 1, 2. Which one should be chosen? As I told you, the biggest one. Biggest one here is 2 exponents 3. And what is the next number? Next number here is number 7. When you multiply number 8 to the 7, your answer is 56. So 56 is our denominator. As I told you, your denominator should be equalized to the 56. To make it 56, 14. To make it 56, you have to multiply it to the 7. To make it 56, you have to multiply it to the number 4. And I told you, I warned you, whatever number you have written on your denominator should be written on the numerator as well. So 14 should be written, 7 should be written, and 4 should be written here by denominator. We can multiply, it gives us number 42, and we can multiply, it gives us number 7, and there is the sign of subtraction. When you multiply 3 to 4, it's actually 12. So our final answer is 37 and 56. I hope you understand how to find LCD, and see you in our next classes.